Welcome to the Southwest Florida Realty Show with Billee Silva. And here's your host, Billee Silva.
Hello, this is Billee Silva with the Southwest Florida Realty Show. Well, the challenge for homebuyers in Southwest Florida continues as low inventory and higher prices continue to define the Lee County housing market. The median sales price for single-family homes jumped 27.5% compared to a year ago, while condominiums and townhomes increased 30.9%. Needless to say, competition remains fierce as the local market saw an inventory decrease in January of 74.9% for all property types versus a year ago. Although this appears to be a national trend because according to the National Association of Realtors, inventory of existing homes for sales across the entire United States is at the lowest level recorded since 1999. So it's not just a Southwest Florida issue. But what does this mean to you as a home buyer? Well, you may need to explore some other options. Today, I have the pleasure of having Steve Geving from Academy Mortgage Corporation here with me, and he's going to educate all of us on renovation loans and construction to permanent one-time close loans. Welcome, Steve. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about your background and Academy Mortgage Corporation?
Hi, Billy. Thanks for having me. Academy Mortgage is a full-service lender. We offer FHA loans, VA loans, conventional loans. But we also offer some of the unique things like construction financing and renovation loans and reverse mortgages. We're in all 50 states. We're a full service lender, meaning you will start with us at application. And we will process and underwrite and close your loan. And at the end, we'll most likely be collecting your payment.
That's awesome. And it's great working with you guys because you get loans done in the strangest situations. You can always pull them off. It's always a pleasure working with you, especially in this crazy market. More often than not, especially in this market, buyers are struggling to find homes for sale that check all of their boxes. For example, I have buyers who are adamant they want a pool home. But as of this morning, I went onto the MLS and there are only 429 pool homes for sale in all of Lee County, and that's all price points. So I'm trying to convince them to look at non-pool homes too, because you never know, they might find a home that meets all of their other requirements and they could add a pool after they take possession. But they're worried they won't have the cash to add a pool. Can you talk a little bit about home renovation financing and how that could possibly be an option for folks to get their dream home?
Sure. Home renovation financing is a loan that allows a borrower to finance or even refinance a home and include the cost of the renovation all in one loan. And, there are multiple types of renovation loans. There are FHA loans. There are Fannie Mae loans called a home style. There's VA renovation loans. There's Freddie Mac renovation loans. But the most common used are the FHA 203K and the Fannie Mae home style renovation loan. Those are probably used 95% of the time.
Now, how exactly does home renovation financing work? Because, like, for example, lately I've had a lot of deals fall apart because of roofs, because insurance companies don't want to insure shingle roofs that are more than 10 years old. Yet sellers are like, there's nothing wrong with my roof. I'm not putting on a new roof. Would a renovation loan be a solution to this conundrum?
Yeah, it sure can. A renovation loan is really no different than any other type of loan, meaning the same four pieces to every mortgage puzzle will apply, meaning they have to have adequate income, adequate assets, adequate credit. The only really difference is on the valuation of the property. On a regular home, a regular home that's already completed, they're going to have an appraiser come out to the property, look at the condition, size, location, etc. They're going to determine what it's worth by what other homes in the area have sold for that are similar to that property. On a renovation loan, the only real difference is that they're trying to appraise a property that's going to be, could potentially be very different after the improvements have been done to it. So the key to it is to give the appraiser enough information up front by showing them if you are going to put a pool on the property, or you're going to put a new roof on the property, or you're going to do cabinets or flooring or lighting or electrical. If you're going to add a mother-in-law suite, it's important to let the appraiser know in the very beginning and give them documentation about what's going to be changing to the property so that they will be able to appraise the property as if the work had already been completed. So you had mentioned roofs, and right now you are right. So many homes, the insurance companies have been very tough on the age of a roof. I see some insurance companies who won't finance a property that has a roof that's older than 5 years. Some say they won't give insurance on a property that has a roof on it that's older than 10 years. So a lot of people are turning to the renovation loan to combine the cost of just not only the house, but combine the cost of a new roof to be put on after closing and have that financed versus just paying for it out of their pocket before closing.
So that's a great benefit of a renovation loan, but what are some other benefits to go the renovation loan route rather than a conventional loan?
A renovation, I guess there really is no perfect house out there. When you take your clients shopping, I think that people like houses, but there's always something about a house that they want to change, at least in most cases. So the benefit of a renovation loan is that they actually have the ability to take that house and make it their perfect home. No matter, like I said earlier, no matter if that's doing improvements by doing a new roof, adding a swimming pool, putting cabinets, knocking down a wall, putting an extension on it, whatever that might be. But they have the ability to take a house that they like, maybe don't love, and turn it to the point where they love it.
Which is very important in this market. And I can't stress that enough to my buyers. So I've been really pushing the renovation loan lately, just for that reason.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to find properties out there. In some cases, when you add in, you said there was 400 some that had swimming pools. If you break that down to a specific price, there might be 10 homes available in a 5 square mile radius. So
if you're lucky.
If you're lucky. So when it's all said and done, you're trying to figure out how to make one of those 5 homes in the area they want to live their dream home. And in most cases, since there is no perfect home to begin with, it makes it a little challenging with such little inventory I guess you got to be pretty lucky to be able to have it to be the perfect home and in the area and price range they want. This allows them to actually take any home and make it their dream home.
And I don't think the average person is even familiar that this option exists.
Yeah, not a whole lot of people are. And the first thing through people's mind is, geez, how much money is that going to cost?
Right.
The answer to the question is, like I said earlier, this product is available. The majority of these loans close either under an FHA 203K or a conventional home style renovation loan. The FHA has as little as 3.5% down payment. The conventional is traditionally 5% down payment or greater, but there are options where you could do 3% down. So imagine buying a home, getting money to renovate it, and only having 3.5% or let's say 5% down payment.
That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. And another thing, since we have limited inventory to choose from and everything tends to be a multiple offer situation these days, a lot of my buyers are contemplating building. What is a construction to permanent one-time close loan?
A construction to permanent one-time close loan is basically a construction loan that gives people money to build their house. In the past, it used to be that if you wanted to build a home, you either had to have cash or you would turn around and get simply a construction loan, which is like a line of credit. And you pull money from the line of credit every single time something needs to be done to the house. after the home was completed, and you used your construction loan to do so, then you had to completely requalify for a second loan for your permanent financing on the house that would last for the next 15 to 30 years. So the one-time close gives you the ability to close on the loan with one set of closing costs, one qualification, and get money that gives you money to build the home. And then when the construction is completed, it automatically modifies to a 30-year fixed or a 20-year fixed or a 15-year fixed, whatever you want it to do. And that benefit, I mean, a lot of things can happen. Construction right now is taking a lot longer to do. Construction of homes is taking a lot longer today than it did 2 years ago. So a lot can happen in 10, 12 months. People can lose their jobs. People could accidentally miss a car payment. People, so their credit scores drop. There's a lot that can happen. And can you imagine if you were doing it the old-fashioned way and you qualified for one construction loan, and then after the home was complete, you had to go qualify for your permanent financing to pay off that construction loan? You could probably imagine if somebody's credit, someone had a blip in their credit, or somebody lost their job, or became self-employed recently, or did something during that 12 months. And next thing you know, they don't get their home. So this way it gives a chance to close one time, one qualification, one set of closing costs. It makes it a lot easier.
And less to go wrong.
Less to go wrong. And a lot can go wrong in this world. We all know that.
Especially when it's taking a year or longer to build homes these days.
It is. It's definitely taken a while to build them. But on the other note, it's taken a while to find them too. That if you're looking at something that's existing, you could be looking a long time as well.
True. Very, very true. Now, how much money do you need for a down payment with this type of loan?
We offer construction of permanent loans with FHA. So that leaves FHA has a 3.5% down payment. We offer them with conventional. We insure through Fannie Mae on these construction loans, and we have a 5% down. We are weeks away from having our VA available, construction of permanent one-time close loan, which will be 0 down payment.
Wow, nice.
Now you do have to pay your closing costs and pay for your insurances, for your home insurances and flood insurance if you have it. But the down payment is either 0 VA, 3.5 FHA, or 5% for conventional.
Now, do you have to own the land, or can the construction loan be used to purchase the land too?
That's a great question, because if you own the land, if you own the land at least for 1 day, we don't treat it as a new purchase of a home. We treat it as a refinance.
Oh.
So when we treat it as a refinance, we no longer go off of the cost or acquisition of the house and acquisition of the land. We actually go off the appraised value. Again, you only have to own the land for 1 day on a conventional loan, and we can go off with the appraised value. And the benefit of that is that, let's say you're building a home for $400,000 and the land is $100,000, so it's a $500,000 project. If you had owned the land for at least 1 day, one, we can use all the equity that you have in the land, and two, we can go off the appraised value. And if the home appraised for more than you're building it for, all that additional equity could be used to pay for closing costs, be used to pay for your down payment, effectively getting you in the home for even less money. So if you don't own the land, you can buy the land at the time of closing on your construction loan. So you go under contract just like normal. You pick out a lot, you write a contract, then you apply for your construction loan. Once your construction loan is approved and you go to the closing table, the very first disbursement from your construction line of credit is to pay off the land. So the day you're closing on your construction loan is the day you're paying off the land that you're under contract with.
Gotcha.
Did that make sense?
Yes, very cool. Now, are there any special requirements for credit?
A little bit. We require a 680 credit score or above. FHA will technically get you down to a 580 or above, but that's very difficult to get qualified. But any construction financing we do, it has to have a 680 or above credit score, no matter if that's a FHA loan, a VA loan, or a conventional one.
Wow, this has been very informative. I can't thank you enough for joining us today, Steve. If our listeners are interested in getting pre-approved for a loan, whether it's a renovation loan, construction to permanent one-time close loan, conventional, FHA, VA, etc., how can they get in touch with you?
They can reach me at steve.geving, that's G as in George, E, V as in Victor, ING at academymortgage.com, or just call me at 239-321-1395.
Wonderful. Thank you again, Steve. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in today. Remember to share our podcast with your family and friends. And if you have a real estate topic you'd like to learn more about, or guests that you would like to have appear on the show, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to hear your recommendations. Until next time, stay well and make it a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Southwest Florida Realty Show with Billee Silva. To learn more about Billee Silva, go to www.sw-floridarealtor.com. That's www.sw-floridarealtor.com, or call 239-247-2490.